thank you for watching. A couple of days ago, one of you wrote me a really interesting question that actually got me thinking, so I screenshot it. I'm going to read it out, then I'm going to answer it. The question is, Sophie, I want to buy a Chanel Jumbo, but I'm worried it could look mature on me or cheap, tacky looking if I try and make it look younger by dressing up. What do you think? Should I get it? Thank you, I love your videos. Thank you for supporting and watching, I appreciate that. I actually know exactly what you mean. This is the Chanel Jumbo. Shall I compare it to a smaller one? I am going to talk more about this though, because I think the issue applies more to this than the smaller sizes, but wait there. This is a smaller size. The Chanel Jumbo, also known as the large. This can be a difficult bag to wear. And when you said that it can either look cheap and tacky or mature, I saw it and I was like, I know exactly what you mean. There are two ways that I feel we see this bag worn. The first way is Trey 2010 bandage dresses, Christian Louboutin heels, or Valentino rock studs. The second way is when you wear it with, hold up, smart type trousers, tweed jackets, and pearls. Both of those different directions that I've mentioned there can absolutely, I completely agree with you, make the bag either look older, kind of matronly, more mature, or can make it look a bit cheap. And I want to talk about this because this is quite a popular bag to buy, and for any of you who want to buy it but you're worried about that aspect of it looking aging, then I'm going to share with you some things that I personally do on days where I wear this bag, because I also don't think I've ever mentioned it before. Obviously when you get dressed you kind of think about the bag and the shoes you're going to wear with it and you make it all work, but this is one bag where I feel I need to dress more youthful when I wear it. And if I wear kind of the clothes that I would wear to work, I don't really like using this bag with those kinds of clothes. I don't use this for work, but I'm just saying that kind of more formal look, I think with this can look quite older. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways not to wear it, and then a couple of ways that you can wear it that I think should give you some ideas in terms of the things to do and not to do that you can then apply to your own personal style and make a decision by the end of this video whether you want this bag or not. Or maybe you've got it and it's not one that you use a lot for that very reason, and this might give you some impetus to use it a bit more. The first thing is jackets like this. This is anything that's still current, by the way, I'm going to link to below. A lot of this isn't. I do tend to buy kind of better quality clothes that last a long time and are of a design that are more, they're a bit more timeless, so a lot of this stuff probably isn't available. The only thing that I kind of know is there's a top I'm going to show you. This jacket is still available and I think there's 25% off it at the moment, and a couple of the pairs of shoes. Anyway, when I personally wear the Jumbo bag, I feel differently about the smaller sizes. I feel like the smaller classic flaps look more youthful. I don't know if that's because smaller bags can tend to look a bit more childish, whereas a bigger bag can look a bit more grown up, but I feel like the smaller ones are easier to work with. The first thing that I would say to avoid are jackets like this. This jacket, this is from Maje a couple of years ago. I love this with jeans, ballet flats or sneakers, and any other bag. Couple of reasons why. First of all, it's got a round neck on it. Now, I don't know why this is, but I feel like round necks on jackets like this immediately look older. Immediately. If you're going to get something that's tweed particularly, I think a V-neck with like lapels looks a lot more youthful. So if I demonstrate that here, I think that this can start to look a bit more grown up. This is the worst, but if you want to look instantly older, this is the worst possible way of putting the outfit together, in my opinion. Do you see what I mean? It's not that it's a bad outfit. These trousers are from Club Monaco a long time ago. It's not that it's a bad outfit, but I do think that it adds a few years. So here would be my things. Avoid around neck. Avoid trousers like this, which are very smart trousers. And avoid shoes like this. Before I move on to some of the quick things you can do to make the bag more youthful, I want to show you a really quick example of how you can, if you want to wear a coat like this with it, I'm going to show you a really quick example of how you can make this coat, even with the trousers, with this bag, look older 1 minute and a lot younger the next. So here's this look. So here we've got the coat. This is from Reiss several years ago as well. And it's not a bad outfit. It's a fine outfit. But you could possibly argue that it adds a few years. Sorry, by the way, for the side camera. So this is, I'm going to show you one quick thing you can do. Actually, I'm going to show you two things you can do that will help to make this outfit, still wearing this coat, look younger. When we focused, here we go. The belt is, ideally, this is the only belt I've gotten here, but ideally I'd have something that matches the silver hardware. But what I've done here is I've added sneakers and a belt around the coat. And I feel like you can tell immediately it looks a bit more edgy, it looks a bit more cool, and it looks a bit more youthful. So there is an example of the first thing. Think about your footwear, think about the clothes that you're wearing, but also think about accessories. Accessories can be a really good way of changing the vibe of this bag. Another way, which I'm not going to show because I don't actually have the assets here to show you, but another way you can make this look a lot more youthful is I've seen a lot of girls wearing this really dressed down with like a black baseball cap, some nice kind of fitted black trousers, sneakers. Now I'm just going to demonstrate how I think you can get these shoes to work with this bag and with an outfit where the shoe, because the shoes themselves, they're not called the granny shoes for no reason. They do look quite like that, but I think you can get them to work with this bag in a way that is still youthful. And there's two things I've changed here, the top and the trousers, that is it. The trousers are current. They are the really high-waisted, which I really love for that, and they're really tight around the waist as well, so very flattering. I always think with this bag, go for a wash that is more distressed. Something like this. If your jeans look too neat and perfect, I think it can look older again. You want to really think with this bag. This bag is very elegant. It's very kind of chic and grown up. So you want to juxtapose all of those qualities with an outfit that looks edgy, youthful, young. Whenever I wear this bag and I'm getting dressed, I think I want to wear this bag in a way that looks like I've borrowed it. Do you understand what I mean by that? I want it to look like I've borrowed it from someone in the family who's had it for many years. And I want it to look like it's almost not mine, is kind of what I want to do with it. But I think going too overboard by trying to make it more youthful, by putting with it Christian Louboutin, and that's no disrespect to anyone who dresses it that way. You might be looking going, well, you look rubbish, and that's fine. But I think that as soon as you go too far the other way, it can cheapen the bag. So for example, this, I just, in my opinion, I cannot stand rock studs with the classic flap. I just feel the rock studs are fine, but I feel like they're quite 2012. I think that's when they first came about and were particularly popular. And I see this a lot. I see a lot, these shoes with this bag, or maybe not so much now, but these shoes with this bag. And I think, I understand the kind of logic, because back in 2012, these were like very youthful, kind of a clubbing shoe, I want to say. So I do think this bag is worth getting. If you are someone who's worried about the mature angle or looking cheap, I'm sorry, I forget your name, the person who asked this question was worried about. I think there are ways of avoiding it, but this is a bag that I definitely don't use that often for that reason, because I feel that when I use this bag, it looks better when I really dress it down. If I'm quite dressed up at the time, I feel that it can really add years. But not only that, the jumbo is quite a big bag, so bear it in mind as well if you're petite, because on me, I always say this, I'm between 5'7" and 5'8", and so on me, this is the kind of size that the bag is. But if you're a smaller person, then you might want to think about getting the medium. I actually prefer this bag in the smaller sizes, and if I bought this again, I probably wouldn't get it in this size. I would get it in the size small, because for me the small is adequate, and it looks, I really like the look of it. I think it looks a lot more chic, a lot more youthful. But I'm still glad that I've got it. I had one of you as well asking, I'm really hoping I can find your question. I had one of you asking me whether you should get the gold or the silver hardware. I personally chose the silver, which is really weird. I actually wear gold more than I wear silver when it comes to jewellery, but even a lot of the accessories I've got that you've seen, I tend to always go for gold. But when it came to the classic flap, I felt that the gold version, again, no disrespect to anyone that's got it, but I felt that the gold on this particular bag added years, whereas the silver, I felt that it looked a bit more contemporary and a bit more modern and a bit fresher and cleaner, which is why I personally went for the silver. But that's not to say that the gold is a bad bag to get, and I still think that if you follow a lot of the kind of tips that I've given here, you can still get it to work. Let me know what any of you think. I've got to say, it's not the first time I've seen a question like that coming from you, coming from those of you who have got it and you've gone off the bag, or you kind of do want it, but you keep getting put off by the fact of like, how am I going to make that look? So they are my tips and advice. I did have one other thing that I was going to say, and I was going to try and fit it into this video, but I didn't have a top that made it relevant. And it goes back to the accessories. You can pretty much wear any item of clothing, except that tweed jacket with this, I think. You can wear any item of clothing, and doing something like putting a belt on it or changing the style of the shoes can actually make your outfit look like can take years off. Jewelry, the same thing goes for it. When I'm wearing a more formal outfit, I like to wear stuff like this, which is from Christian Dior, and it's just like, it's kind of like a choker necklace. When I'm wearing a more done up outfit, I wear jewelry like this to bring the outfit a few years down. When I'm wearing an outfit that's already quite relaxed, I will wear like pearls. But when I wear pearls, I wear them as chokers, or I wear them as stud earrings. Because pearls themselves can look quite aging as well, but there are ways of wearing them where you kind of play on their edginess, but you make them deliberately look younger. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.